One, welcome to Popcast on the Rocks, episode 109. We're back after a little bit of an extended break,
Mhm.
but we're here again. My John. I am joined as always by Andrea. How's it going?
Good, good. I suppose I shouldn't have any other answer than good today since it's my anniversary. So,
Oh, yep.
yes.
Congratulations. Hope it's going
Thank
well.
you. Thank you. 8 years.
I was gonna say, you're like me. You're past the 7-year slump.
Woo! Made
Mhm.
it.
Or I suppose that's what ours will be. Yeah, I guess this right?
this
Because did we get
You got
married
married the
this
same
same
summer.
year?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, so you'll be
So,
making it officially to 8.
yep. So we did because it was. Oh wait, no, July. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. So, yep. Only a few more weeks.
That's
Can I
right.
get there?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you made it through nearly 8 years, the next couple of weeks are probably,
Yeah,
safe bet.
probably. Probably. Well, I'm in a different space right now because it's very hot here, and the space is just too toasty at the moment.
Mhm.
So that's what that is. Um, for our rundown today, we're not going to have any big spoilery things. That'll be great if you guys are not watching the same shows we are. We're going to talk a lot of game things because it's that time of year. Even though E3 didn't happen, it's E3 season,
Mhm.
so a lot of gaming things, and then go over our weeks and yeah, chat. We got like a laundry list of drink holidays.
Oh my god, seriously, I think it's longer than our show notes.
I mean, it's because we started our show notes a while ago, and it's like we kind of had to delay things and stuff. So the list
For
has
sure.
grown. Yes,
For sure, yeah. Well, and apparently we're just like kicking off June and summer and everybody's into cocktails, which makes sense, but
really.
there's a lot more in these past couple of weeks than there has been, for certain time periods in the year. Um but so yeah, starting it off with the holiday that fell closest to our last show. June 9th was International Dark and Stormy Day, which I am celebrating. Um
Nice.
I felt it was only appropriate after I just blew through the first half of season 4 of Stranger Things.
Mm,
I mean, it's a very dark and stormy show if you've ever watched it. So, that felt very appropriate for me
nice.
this week.
Yes, well done.
So, June 11th, double National Rosé Day and World Gin Day. Any of those for you, John?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay, I'll move on. June 14th, again, another double. National Bourbon Day and National Old Fashioned Day. Am
Nice.
I ringing any bells here, John?
No.
Nope. Okay, I will keep going because there's more. June 15th was Beer Day, especially in the UK and Britain. Anything going on here? Do you have a British style
Uh,
ale, perhaps?
I have something in a can.
You do have something in a can.
Hmm.
Is it a beer?
No, it's not.
Okay,
I'm being lame
I've
today.
got one more holiday.
Okay, 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 okay.
June 19th. I kind of hope this isn't it because it's in a
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
National Martini Day.
Hey, they're
Yesterday.
making those mixed cocktail pre-done things
They
now.
they are, but I feel like those are definitely geared towards like carbonated, seltzery kind of things like G&Ts, stuff like that, especially in a
Yeah.
can specifically. I've seen
Yes.
other things like in like mini bottles or like box cartons, which
Hmm.
is almost like, you remember those like milk cartons you got when you were a kid that you had to like open and
Yes.
like fold out the triangle? Some
Hmm.
of those look exactly like that, except they're alcohol. So I have a
Hmm.
weird, like, I'm an adult having a cafeteria flashback while I'm
Yeah.
drinking this alcoholic
Let's have
beverage.
our milk break.
Right? Yeah. It's
Hmm.
snack time with my milk.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so I'm guessing what's in your can is not a martini.
No, no, no. I'm
Okay.
being
What do you
kind of
got
lame
for us?
today. I mean, I think it's cool, but it's this limited edition RC.
Ooh. It's very
So
colorful. It's kinda matching some of
yeah,
the stripes on your shirt there.
yeah, that makes sense. And
Giving
the
me
wall
electric
behind
vibes.
me, it's RC Berries and Cream.
How is that?
It's really good.
Okay,
It's very good.
awesome.
So I'm glad you've got us covered for drink holidays because I just like finished up in the field today and I just like don't feel like alcohol now.
For
I
sure.
just
I'm
yeah.
kinda digging the dark and stormy. It's not alcohol heavy. It's
Hmm.
very, like, especially with the, so it's, a dark and stormy is dark rum and then ginger beer and a little bit of lime. So it's, like, very simple. It's not, like, a very involved cocktail. It's just kind of refreshing.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I don't drink rum often, so I'm kind of
Yeah,
enjoying that aspect. It's
I
also pretty,
recall.
yeah, pretty light on the rum, so I'm not, like, going crazy. So, yeah, it's kind
Hmm.
of a nice little refreshing drink here.
I've been wanting some. Oh, is it dark and stormy normally with ginger beer?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Hmm. I've been
What are you
wanting
thinking
ginger
of?
beer recently. I don't know. I just ginger beer. I feel like wasn't a common. When do you think ginger beer? I know we talked. I talked about this last time too. Again, in a way, but when do you think ginger beer became a common staple behind every bar? Because I feel like
Ooh,
wasn't hasn't been
yeah.
forever.
It definitely hasn't because, I worked as a bartender, although okay, I worked as a bartender when I was in college, but to be fair, we had a pretty extensive bar, but I did work
Yeah,
at a sushi restaurant, so I don't know that, like, I don't
yeah,
know.
but it was a nice place, so
It was a nice
I
place,
feel
and I
like.
mean, like I said, we were pretty well stocked, but, yeah, I don't know that,
Mhm.
like, we would consider us a full bar with, like, the range of every option. But we did have
Right.
ginger beer,
Hmm.
and that was, a good turn years ago. I'm just kidding.
It was
It
last
was, like,
year,
15
yeah.
years ago.
Mhm. Not possible. Not
Not
possible.
possible. I agree. I look
Uh,
so young. It was just the other day.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Um, I don't know what that was. Powder, I guess, yeah.
Sure, sure.
Alright, well, anyways, yeah, we have lots of drinks,
Mhm.
it's a good way to kick your week off, I would say, so pour one out the rest of your week. This I guess last really 2 weeks, I think we've on 2 weeks now, so what have you been up to?
Yeah, not much in the world of, kind of entertainment and pop culture. I did mention that I did get through the first half of season 4 of Stranger Things, which I'm not going to lie to you is a feat because each episode is an hour
Like a movie?
plus. They're like
Yeah.
mini movies. They are like
Mhm.
like I would say the average is like an hour and 18ish minutes. And the last one was extra because, finale. So yeah, so
Yeah.
getting through an episode of those really just kind of takes over your entire night, especially
Right?
if you're, parents to a young child like Chris and I are.
Yeah.
Um, you put her to bed and you sneak in an episode and it's like, okay, well, it's late now. Gotta go to bed
Mhm.
ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's
It's tough.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we got through all of that, which was great. I'd been dying to see season 4. I'd heard really good things. Um, and I, having watched all the episodes, can say spoiler free. I think season 4 does live up to the hype.
Yes.
It's a bit of a rocky-ish. I mean, it's solid. Like the writing's always been solid on Stranger Things, but it's a bit of a rocky-ish start. But once
Okay.
they really get going into what they're doing for the season, it gels really well and everything kind of comes together.
Okay.
So I think they
Cool.
do a great job of introducing new things, tying in old elements, kind of getting back to some of the show's roots, which is really nice because it has been a
Yeah.
while since Stranger Things has graced the screen. So it's nice to like get into something new but feel the familiar. So
Yeah.
very well done.
Well, and I was listening to someone talk today about how the delays between some of these
Mm.
things are really hurting them. I
Stranger
think they were,
Things,
well, no, they were
or
specifically
just kind
talking
of
more about like Game of Thrones,
Oh, sure.
as we mentioned, and then something else that just popped up recent that was a extra delay. But my thought was, well, Stranger Things is definitely seems to be
Mhm.
bucking that idea or trend or whatever because it's doing very well thus far.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely was worried, um, after, like, the first one, still kind of a little nervous after 2, and then the rest of the episodes really, like I said, they gelled really well and came together. Um, but yeah, I mean, it definitely could have gone the other way if the storytelling had been good, but not quite as up to par as
Right.
the last half of it was. Yeah, Stranger Things could have been in trouble too.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's great.
yeah.
I'm glad everybody's I haven't heard anything like anyone coming away with a negative uh conclusion with this
Yeah, I
season.
mean,
So
there are things that I'm not particularly fond of,
right.
and, like, things that I would be like, "Oh, I don't really know why this is happening," or, "I don't love that this is happening," but, like, overall, like, solid storytelling
Hmm.
and great performances from all the actors once again.
Nice.
So,
Cool. That's great.
yeah, so I made it through that, which I feel like was a big accomplishment. Other than that, I've just kind of been doing life things, house projects, going out to playing sports, even in this extreme heat, which I don't know, kind of makes me a little crazy, I think. But still here, still doing it. Um, and then yeah, I've been getting back into Pokemon recently, both in terms of like they've been having some special research days, introductions of new Pokemon. They're having like summer solstice celebrations. So yeah, just been kind of focusing on that the past couple of weeks as well.
Cool. Yeah, Ashley and I actually logged back in on
I
Pokemon for the
saw
first time
that.
in
I got
quite
to
a
give
while.
you gifts and stuff.
I don't think since that first day and then like maybe the second day, I don't think I've logged back in now again. But
Sure.
because I was saying like, I'm not gonna get into this again. I'm not getting into this again. But we're out and like we'd go by the park we used to walk by and stuff a lot, play, and so I just thought, okay, I'll see what's new. So we
Sure. Got a
might
little nostalgia out there.
casually, yeah, casually turn it on, get some new Pokemon because I'm sure there's a couple waves since we played new
Yes.
gens.
Yes, there is, appropriately, since, Jurassic World Dominion is out, um, there is a new dinosaur Pokemon that looks like an
Mm,
adorable little T-Rex, and I'm gonna bring him up here in the hopes that it
okay.
will make you play more. And I actually saw the other day
Say
that
wave.
still crushing it at the box office. I think it was, like, number 2 or something at the box office this
Yeah,
past weekend.
but doesn't have a lot of competition though, right?
No, it
That's kind of
doesn't. Um But, I mean, still for having been on so long, and I mean, I know Top Gun: Maverick is probably its only, like, true competition, but a
yes.
lot of people were very disappointed at, uh, what's his face? Lightyear. That movie
Mm.
did not do better than it did. That movie
Yeah,
about Buzz Lightyear.
it's right.
Let's see
Uh,
when I can get him into focus. There he is,
oh,
little T-Rex
he
guy.
looks cool.
Where are you?
Yeah.
Rah! There he is.
Yeah, nice. Like it.
So,
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know how much stock to put in any of this anymore, but Jurassic World is sitting at 30% on Rotten Tomatoes and
mm,
78% audience scores, which is
mhm.
very interesting because like I'd only heard negative things about it
Yeah.
from people and critics, so this audience score surprises me.
It doesn't surprise me-ish. I mean, that does seem a little high for what I'm about to say, but a lot of people I know, even who have always loved Jurassic Park, are like, "Yeah, plot line kinda full of holes, not strong writing, like,
Mhm.
doesn't the overall goal doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I was just there for, like, the OG 3, like, the
Ex
reunion."
That's exactly the thing. Like,
And,
it's the
like, I'm
same
going to
thing
be
as
too. like,
I
whenever I
know,
watch
but
it. I'm not
see,
watching it in the theater. I'm
right.
waiting. Sorry, y'all, like, I'm not that excited about it. I was, but now I'm sorta over it.
I'm
But
I'm not I'm not fond for your trail of candy anymore. Like, just I get it, nostalgia bait, get
yep,
people in, but you gotta have a good movie around it.
right. Like, I'm still very excited to, like, have that moment where I see them come together on the screen again. It's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be on my screen. It's gonna be on my small screen. It's not gonna be
Right.
on the big screen. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't made it to it's just been working. I'll get to the theater more here pretty soon, but or
Uh,
something.
for part of our anniversary celebrations, Chris and I just purchased tickets to go see Top Gun Maverick,
Oh,
and I'm
nice.
very excited. We're going to Alamo
Cool.
because why not? Because
Yeah.
it's awesome. So I'm
Nice.
excited to get back in the theater too.
Yeah. I'm hoping to get to that one too. That'll be a fun one in the theater.
Yes.
Um, yeah, we talked about that the other week about how if you guys haven't caught it, go back and watch our retro rewind of Top Gear, the original.
Gun.
Yes, Top Gun, not Top Gear.
uh,
Uh,
it's been a week, has it? The field got you. The sun beating down on you.
yeah, it's uh, it gets very spacey after a while.
Sure,
Just like staring ahead for so long. But
I imagine.
yeah. Um. Anyways, well, that's very exciting.
Mhm.
We'll have to talk about that maybe next week then.
Yeah.
My week, in between work stuff, I finally finished Squid Game. So
Yes.
yeah, I think yeah, I kind of gave impressions before, and I
Mhm.
won't go in depth because we're not doing a spoiler thing, and maybe we'll
Right.
talk about it more detail later. But it was good all the way through. It's
Mhm.
just solid. Um,
Mhm.
I are you because anyone that's paying attention is aware that they're making a sequel.
Mhm.
Do you want to see, I mean, do you want a sequel? Like, are you good with I mean, they
Ooh,
clearly set it so there could be a sequel, and now we know they're making
right.
a sequel.
Right. I mean, it's a high stakes game, you know? I
Mhm,
mean, this season was so good that I want more good,
mhm,
but it's terrifying. I feel like anything now that has like a strong good first season and they announce this second, it's just
yeah,
like a roulette or like a dice game.
mhm,
Like you're just like, "Oh god, this will either go very right or very wrong." And you can
mhm,
almost never tell anymore what it's going to
mhm,
be. So yes is my answer, but that doesn't mean I'm not terrified at the same time
mhm.
about season 2.
I just hope they had, and it's again, it kind of seems like it was written that way. I hope they had plans for
Mhm.
making the sequel,
Yeah.
and so it's designed that way. Um, Yeah, it's interesting too. I saw that when they opened up for tourism again in Korea,
Mhm.
they had like they were welcoming in some tourists and stuff, and they had like actors from
Yep.
Squid Game, people in the suits and stuff or whatever. So it's like they're very aware that this
Very
really
conscious.
made a big splash.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
like you said, I hope that this was a planned for thing and I hope there's, I do feel like shows that have a set plan and stick to it do end up doing better in terms of producing more seasons. When a show comes in, it's like, "Listen, we've got a strong idea for a TV show that we think could last 4 seasons. Here it is."
Mhm.
And obviously
Yep.
they know making the first season like you're not guaranteed anything. But after you get the green light and you still say like, "Listen, we came in with 4 seasons, we're sticking to 4 seasons." I just feel like that does end up it's what we've been talking about for, since day 1 of the show.
Mhm.
Having a plan for the end and sticking to that plan usually turns out better content than this vague, amorphous, like, oh, we had an idea or we think we know where we're going. And 12 seasons later, all of your storytelling ability has fallen off and you just sort of like half assedly wrap something up.
Hmm.
So,
Well, some people missed the green light or were the red light rather. Yeah. So, well, I definitely, yeah,
inside joke if you've watched Squid Game.
I definitely I would like to talk about it sometime.
Hmm.
Because it was,
Anytime.
if we want, we can always wait till the second season about to come out, whatever. But
Oh, yeah. That'd be
yeah,
good.
good stuff. And then being work was winding down, I did like dip my toe back into Horizon Forbidden West a little bit. Like I'm starting to
Sure.
think like, what do I want to play for a game and stuff like that. I got a couple hours of that in at one point. Um,
Nice.
a lot of fun. Still missing that. Um, I just get burnt out easily sometimes.
Hmm.
Like it's so much. So taking those breaks is good.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, and then I had this on my watch later list, actually just on YouTube. I posted the link in our thing. If you're ever bored or high or whatever, go ahead and watch Angel's Egg. It's from like
Okay.
1985, I think. It's an anime, and I might review it on the Ohio Anime segment. Um,
Okay.
I- I'd be interested to see what you think. I don't
Okay.
understand what happened at all, basically. But it's just
I love that.
it's very atmospheric.
Okay.
They do well with music and setting. Like it's interesting how you just see this simple, very little movement often in the animation.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh, they're trying to cut costs or something, but they just aren't afraid to like hold a shot and this very weird world that they created and kind of a lore that sort of ties in with like Christianity and like Noah's Ark kind of elements. I don't know what happened. I don't know what
And this is
happened.
called Angel's Egg.
Yes. Hmm.
Okay. I mean, that
Uh,
was such like a random word salad of a description that I am very and it
well,
sounds like, you know what I mean? It sounds like just such like a grab bag interesting show that I'm kind of intrigued now. Like,
all
what
we
the hell is this?
for a setup, I'll just say it's like as most base level, it's about a girl that is carrying an egg and wants to let it hatch. And around her is like this very dystopian, weird, empty, quiet world.
Okay.
And I don't know. I thought it was cool, but if you can tell me what happened, be much appreciated. So
Okay. Well, I'll check it out and do my best.
it's yeah, it's like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. So
Okay, so it's basically a Stranger Things episode.
yeah. Yep. So yeah. Yeah, that been some of the highlights of my week. News wise, we had,
Oof.
as you know, pre-show, we had like a million things to talk about.
Yes.
But it's like, how do we like whittle this down a little bit? So we're going gaming focused. As I said up top, we haven't talked about video games that much on the show recently,
Yeah.
and we'll kind of ease our way into the video game conversation with some video game adaptations slash spin-offs in
Mhm.
animated form.
Mhm.
So, starting out with Cyberpunk End Runners. They announced this some time ago. It's based on Cyberpunk 2077 in that world, but this one's a proper anime and it's
Mhm.
being made by Studio Trigger.
Mhm.
So they released a trailer that I thought was really cool and a kind of a little talking to some of the people at CD Projekt Red kind of thing, as part of Netflix's Geek Week. So,
Mhm.
did you get to check out these things?
I did. I did. Yeah, I had forgotten that this was going to be a thing. I think I was kind of wondering if they were going to move forward with it based honestly on Cyberpunk's kind of tanking.
Mm.
I wasn't sure if they were like, didn't do as well as we had hoped. We're kind of like worried about the hype for it. You know what I mean? I could have seen
Mhm.
this maybe quietly, like, sliding away. So then this
No.
got really I'm not saying I would have been happy about it, but, I mean, you just never know. So I'm kind of glad that this is still happening. Like, I'm
Yeah.
glad that this came out. I'm glad the trailer came out, confirming that it's still going on. It was a very high energy, frenetic trailer,
Yes.
but it kinda got me pumped. Like, I liked the energy. I liked that it was,
Mhm.
like, high level. I feel like it was like a shot of adrenaline for the cyberpunk
Yeah.
universe.
The thing about, um, Studio Trigger works mostly is you don't go to those shows if you're not already an anime fan.
Yeah,
Like, because
I
if
could
you
see that.
do, you're like, I don't know, it's like snorting too much cocaine and then, like, getting a bucket of water thrown in your face of cold water and just, like, it's too much, It's
Mhm.
just like a wave, that's, hurled at you, and you're like, "I don't not into this." So I'm wondering, like, the audience for this, are they gonna get the people that played the game? Is there enough overlap between people that are, like,
Sure.
familiar and watch anime, and have played the game? I don't know. I'm just interested in how it's gonna be received and do everything like that because it's, like, made for me, basically, one of my favorite studios
Are you gonna
making.
re-sign up for Netflix for this?
No, I've got Netflix yet now.
Oh,
I
you
I
do?
yeah, I got Netflix back to I was gonna power through Arcane,
Oh,
remember?
right.
And then I
Right.
decided to keep it, because then they had, like, the Ricky Gervais special and then the Squid Game on to watch, and so we have Netflix.
Okay. Alright.
Disney's the one we got rid of, and Hulu we got rid of,
Sure.
so
I mean, I know Netflix was on your chopping block, so I wasn't
yeah,
sure if you
that's
just,
right.
like, powered through some stuff and then you were like, "Forget it," or nope,
Uh,
it's just barely keeping you hanging on?
no, I mean, they're I feel like there's a flurry of quality content. And then, like, Stranger Things now,
Yeah,
and then as we're gonna talk about more stuff here, um, yeah, I think it's at this point worth it
sure,
despite the continual price increases and stuff. So
sure.
so yeah, Cyberpunk End Runners, check a look at the trailer. If you have not if you're not an anime person, but you like Cyberpunk, I think I'd recommend.
I would recommend not watching the trailer.
Really?
Yeah. Just, like, wait and dive into it.
Okay.
If you're a Cyberpunk fan, but you're not an anime fan, or,
Mhm.
like, you haven't really watched anime, I think it could be potentially off-putting to be
But then
that
it
high
will be if
energy.
you see, I was gonna say maybe you should watch some of pick another thing from the studio to watch to see if you can, like, to
Yeah, that's what I
acclimate
mean,
yourself.
like yeah, like, watch
Yeah.
something else, don't watch the
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah. So, like, go and watch Gurren Lagann, you
Yeah.
know, watch that
Yes.
through and see if you can handle that by the end of the
Yep,
season.
yep. I agree with that. Don't watch the trailer because I think you'll just be like, it's too different and too high energy. I feel like you have to come at it from the side, like,
Mhm.
get into that kind of energy before you understand how that's applied to the thing that you like.
Mhm. It's kind of amazing how there's so many things that I've come to really love that I know if you showed quote unquote normal people, they'd be like, what is this?"
Yeah.
Tara was over a while ago or whatever, our friend, and saying, like, I think at one point she's just like, "What is wrong with Japanese?" Because I don't know what anime we were watching, but it's just like clearly she was not for her. So
Sure.
yeah.
There are I mean, I feel like anime is something that I mean, to an extent, like regular TV, there are shows that are for everybody and there are shows that are specialized that only some people like.
Yes.
But I feel like anime has that to the nth degree. There's
Mhm.
so much content out there and there's so much specialized that, like, if there's like one show that you know is like made for somebody, it's like a certain type of audience, they just go at it hardcore. They don't even
Yep.
try to do like another audience. And if you
Yep.
just like happen to get in there and like it, like, nice, but we don't really care because it's not for you.
Mhm.
And I feel like regular TV to some extent always has a little bit of try in there for
Mhm.
like, let's maybe cast like a little net, see who like stumbles in here.
I love
So
the specificity of anime and manga a lot.
mhm.
Um, but,
It's fun when you know what you like and you find what you like and you're like, ugh,
yes.
like I just know this show is gonna be good because it's like for me.
Mhm. Like, we're watching this show now, Love After World Domination,
Okay.
and, it's basically about this superhero team that is basically the Power Rangers, and but they're called, like, the Gelatos or something, and so they're, like, different flavors, essentially, for their different colors, and,
Uh,
they're fighting this other this enemy bad guy thing, which is basically
sure,
like Rita and Ivan Ooze and all those people,
sure.
in Power Rangers. Well, the one gelato guy like basically falls in love with a one of the enemies. So it's kind of a
Uh-oh.
little Romeo and Juliet thing or whatever. But
Aw,
so they're
that's
always
adorable.
like fighting the teams and they find some excuse to be like off someplace else fighting. Like, oh, Red, he really is like giving it to her or something, and they're off someplace else. So I don't know. It's one of those things like, okay, how are they going to keep this going or whatever? But
Sure.
it's been great. It's been very hilarious. So
I I only laugh because I honestly would actually probably watch this show. I only laugh because, like, the gelatos is objectively terrible.
yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
can see it in my brain and, like, you're like, "Oh, they're, like, different flavors and you know what I mean? Like, I can
Mhm.
see it and it works and it's, like, cute and adorable, but that name is objectively terrible.
That's a bit. But this is just a show that, right? Like we've watched enough anime. We know we would be into this kind of like romantic comedy sort of
Sure.
thing,
It kinda reminds
but
me
some
like
people
romantic
do.
comedy, but like, what was that? Like High School Earth Defenders Club.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really something. High School Earth Defense Force or something. Yeah.
Yes, something like that.
Hmm.
Forgive
Hmm.
me for butchering that, but I
Oh
love that
yeah,
show, that was fun.
that's funny too. Yeah. Anyway, Cyberpunk and Runners coming soon.
Circling
Uh,
back, totally
yeah.
natural.
Well, in other video game adjacent news, also from Geeked Week, a
Mhm.
show that we've liked, Castlevania is getting
Yes.
a new spin-off
Yes.
season, series, whatever. This one, however, is focusing on Richter Belmont.
Mhm.
So I think this is a good call. Like if they're going to do more, move on, talk about a different Belmont and stuff.
Yeah.
So trailer is minimal.
Yes. Yeah, what, it's like 30 seconds or
Something like
a
that,
little bit
yeah.
more? Yeah, it's very quiet, or very quick, excuse me, not quiet. Um, but it's fun. I mean, like you said, it's a fun to get a look at least, um,
Mhm.
get kind of a vibe through some of the dialogue and can really tell who Richter is, and who his parents are.
I don't know what you're
So
talking about.
shocking.
Mhm,
Um, but yeah, no, it's a fun quick look. I think Netflix knows here, or producing team knows here. Um, they don't really have to give a whole lot
yeah,
because Castlevania has been so successful that they can just do
mhm,
this little like, quick teaser, and people are going to be like, "Ah, yes, ready. I'm
yep,
here."
yep. In that same vein, Dragon Age
Mhm.
gaming series, which I think honestly is probably dead. They're gonna ruin whatever they do next, but this animation could be cool.
Yeah,
Um, it's again, yes, also Netflix. What'd you think of this?
I loved it. I have in the notes here, like, looks very Castlevania-esque, and I don't mean particularly in plot, I just mean, like, animation style, like some of
Mhm.
the brief glimpses of fight sequences that we got. I dig it. Like, I am here for more solid storytelling in the Castlevania, like, genre. I don't mean to, like, mix it up story-wise again, but, yeah, if we're producing quality content, I like this animation style, so give me more.
Well, and that's my one thing, like, I like I like the Dragon Age world.
Mhm.
Ashley's played those games a lot. Played a little bit of the tabletop RPG. I watched a
Mhm.
different movie. So I really like the world.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel like Netflix, and I should look this up,
Mhm.
but it seems like Netflix is going to the same studio to do so many of their animated projects. Castlevania, Dragon Age, Blood of Zeus, The Witcher, all these things
Oh, you mean
look
the
very
short
similar. What's
Blood
that?
of the Wolf, you mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Or yeah, is that right? I think
No,
so.
I think it's something different, but it's yeah, the
Wolf
animated one
Wolf is in there.
about
Nightmare of the Wolf?
maybe that's it. Witcher,
Alan, help
Nightmare
me.
of the Wolf. Nightmare of the Wolf sounds right.
Okay, maybe I was, like,
I'd put it all right
transposing
now.
Blood of Zeus
Yeah.
in my brain and then, like, tried to smash it with
Mhm.
what Witcher was. Wow. Getting all mixed up now. It's dark and stormy, I tell you.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, I just think that it's a lot of, I also love Castlevania, I love these shows, Nightmare of the Wolf.
Nightmare of the Wolf. Thank you, Alan.
It's just it's a lot the same style of art and stuff, and, like, obviously, anime has a lot of Hallmark stuff, but you can tell they're drawn by different people,
Sure.
like, they are, you know, so and just, if the show's good, the show's good, and I thought the trailer looked good. I like the
Mhm.
world. Just for me, I think that maybe need to diversify on studios or something for that.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'll probably give them this one. Like I said, I've been liking this animation style, so I'm kind of good with it. But yeah, I mean,
Mhm,
if they're gonna press on more seriously
mhm.
with, anime, like adding anime to their roster, then yeah, I mean, please diversify, break it up. Like,
Animation, Andrea?
I mean, all right, yeah.
I
They've got
just
a mix of anime and animation.
yeah,
I know Castlevania is a sore point for you.
I just heard someone else talking about it because it's hotly contested. They were talking about Avatar, it's like some people think it's anime and some people
Wait,
think
like
it's
the
not.
movie?
No, like the series, the animated
Oh,
series.
okay, alright, I was like,
Avatar: The
we have to have
Last
a talk with
Airbender.
whoever thinks that's anime.
Well, the idea was
But
that
I get it now.
yeah, one side it's like, okay, it's something that's from Japan, or the other side it's like, well, if it has the hallmarks of
Mhm.
anime, then
Then
it
why not?
is. And
Yeah, mhm.
I disagree completely, but whatever.
Mhm.
All right. It's from video game adjacent video game adaptations to straight up video games.
Mhm.
Let's talk E3 season.
Let's do it.
So Summer Games Fest kind of got things started, got the ball rolling. We had a state of play, which we talked about briefly the other week. So, but
Mhm.
then we had the Summer Games Fest by Jeff Keighley, the Canadian. He
Mhm.
always lets everybody know ad
Cannot
nauseum. Yep. I didn't get to see a lot of this, and I wasn't like super amped to go and look at it all because I got home from work and everybody said Ashley watched it. Everybody was like, "Eh, meh."
Mhm.
Did you
I could
watch
see
it or
that.
see a bunch of it or?
I could see that. I've been kind of, like, streaming it a little bit, streaming the replay on my other computer over here. And yeah, I mean, it's fine, but I mean, I watched the Xbox Bethesda showcase first, and this,
Mm,
unfortunately, I think pales in comparison
sure.
because Jeff Keighley talks too much. He really
Jeff Keighley
does.
likes himself some Jeff Keighley, I tell you. I
I
think.
mean, he is a perfectly nice gentleman,
Hmm. He
but
is.
kind of get out of my screen so much. So yeah, so
Yeah.
it is rather underwhelming to have this like really nice, tightly paced, focused showcase that I watched first from Xbox and then
Okay.
transitioned to
Interesting.
this in feeling like it kind of drug on a little bit.
Okay.
The energy wasn't quite as high because we weren't making these like quick transitions, you
Hmm.
know, and some of the transitions between just didn't need to be.
Right.
So, yeah, so unfortunately, I was underwhelmed by the format, um, and I mean, I found a few games that I was interested in, but I, on the whole, wasn't excited by any one particular announcement other than the
I
thing that
was gonna
had nothing to
say,
do with video games.
oh, psh, Andrea, horn dog, horny bonk.
That's
Where's my
right, that's
hammer?
right. I'm not ashamed. Dwayne Johnson busted in his Iron Paradise gym shirtless to talk about Black Adam, and I'm not sorry he did because he sure knows how to host a gig, man. Give the
Sure.
people what they want.
Yeah. Mhm. Yep.
So, yes, I was very excited about that in gaming news. I was pretty much only excited probably I would say I mean Lord of the Rings
Okay.
and then Shredder's Revenge.
Okay. Yeah.
Because who doesn't love some TMNT?
Mhm.
I can't deny my love.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised by the Lord of the Rings, Return to Moria game.
Mhm.
Thought that was kind of interesting, the idea, the dwarves heading back into
Yeah.
Moria to kind of, rebuild, it seems.
So, I feel like Lord of the Rings is having a little resurge moment here, um, because we've obviously got Rings of Power coming out, which I still have all the feelings about. We've got this new game,
Yeah. Mhm.
and then now we've got a recent announcement that they are making an animated movie that's coming out in 2023. Lord of the
That's right.
Rings. It's called Lord of the Rings, which again shouldn't be, but it's War of the Rohirrim.
Right.
And I'm really excited about that because they've got all the cast back. I think Miranda Otto's back. Oh my god, what's the actor who plays Theoden? I can see him in my brain. Is it Bernard Snow?
Oh, Theoden King.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
Anyway, sorry. So they've got, I mean, everybody back from Rohan, and they've got a couple of new names in there as well to like round it out. And they're going to be talking about the Battle of Helm Hammerhand,
Mm.
which boss, I love it. Um, so yeah, I feel like Lord of the Rings is having a moment here.
I've got the Rohan theme in my head stuck in my head now.
Yes,
Just like
yes.
swelling violins. Yep.
It's so good. Yeah, I mean,
I
it's all like brass and like hard string. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's
Feels
very
Celtic right away with, those strings.
yes, yeah, there's Celtic vibe when you go to the strings, and then, when you get to the battles, there's a lot of, like, deep horns coming in, which
Mhm.
obviously makes sense.
I was so looking forward to that in,
Bernard Hill, thank you. Thank
mm,
you. I got it partially right. I don't know where I got snow from, but
I
thank
was
you, Alan.
looking, so forward to my D&D camp. I was like, "I want these guys to be noticed because they were trying to sneak someplace," because I
Mhm.
had the horn of Helm's Deep, like, ready
Yes!
to go. So, like, if they're noticed, like, that's the alert.
The
Just like,
horn of
"Blah."
Helm Hammerhand shall sound
Yeah,
in the deep one
yeah.
last time. Ugh, so good. Anyway,
Yep.
sorry, I'm bringing us off topic again, but at least I'm topic adjacent.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
that game excited me.
I think that these are your best, hopes for Lord of the Rings content because this
Yeah.
game looks, kinda came out of nowhere, looks different, and
Mhm.
then, the animated, um, work is, as you said, having the actors come back, and it's supposed to be kind of picking up with the tone, that we already
Yes.
got from, Peter Jackson's films, so
Yep.
that was good.
So, yeah.
Um
Unfortunately, I didn't catch all of it. I've been skimming through, like I said,
mhm.
watching some of the live stream replay here, and I'm just not terribly excited by this 3-hour event.
Crazy. I'm excited for a couple things that like stood out. So
Sure.
Callisto Protocol they showed more of.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
supposedly coming out in December this year. It's made by some of because everybody thought Dead Space was dead, and so some of the creators of that are now making this that looks very like Dead Space,
Mhm.
which is interesting now because now they're also remaking the original Dead Space. So we're gonna have a lot of that, which I'm totally down for. This is like before Prey
Mhm.
and before Returnal. Like
Mhm.
these were the sources of what to me felt like proper kind of if I want to play Alien in game format would be Dead
Sure.
Space. So and now I'm a little better at some of the horror dealing with horror games. So yeah. So which by the way, I have the new PS Plus, so I do have Returnal downloaded now. So I'll try that sometime.
Nice. Good luck.
Um thanks, yeah. Hurry up and get your PS5 and we can play it co-op.
Ooh, yes, please.
And then another good co-op game, as you mentioned, Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge.
Mhm.
Very excited for that. It's actually out now. It's available day one on Game Pass.
Mhm.
I tried it yesterday, just like on my phone, streaming
Mhm.
it with Xbox Cloud Gaming, and it was very cool,
Awesome.
very what it should be. I've been hearing nothing but glowing reviews, and my like little bit of playtime with it has been, yeah, it's. I'm excited. Just
Awesome.
yeah, it's, Val and I, my sister and I played a lot of like that early home console on the NES Ninja Turtles game for sure. Um, and then Last of Us, the long rumored remake, again, kind of whatever of Last of Us Part One.
Yes, I
So they're
did see
calling it
that.
now Last of Us Part One. So then
Yep.
it's bringing it in line with the second one. I I guess I'm glad they're doing this,
Mhm.
because then anyone that hasn't played these two games can sit and play them, and it's not jarring going between the two. They're both of a similar
Right.
fidelity and all that kind of thing. So yeah, yep. All right, so on to the Xbox Bethesda showcase, which is
Mhm.
interesting that they label it the Xbox Bethesda showcase instead of just the Xbox showcase.
It
Next
really
year's,
wasn't the Xbox Bethesda showcase.
you don't think so?
I mean, it was, but
It
it
was
wasn't. You know what I mean?
well, it was. I mean, there was a lot of Bethesda.
There was, but
I
there was a
think.
lot of other things too, and there
Yeah.
were bigger announcements than what, related to Bethesda.
Wow, there were. Okay, what were they?
I mean, like, both you and
Uh,
I noted it, like,
did we?
wow,
Oh,
Riot
yes. Yeah.
Games?
Yes, yes, yes.
Like, that
Those
came out of left field for me.
yeah, as far as surprises, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's sorry, that's what I mean, like, there was nothing, like, I mean, there were big announcements and, like, things I was happy about, things I was excited about, but, like, if you wanted to, like, shock the hell out of me,
Yeah.
Riot Games was my big one.
Yeah, there was a few big shockers, for sure, Riot Games, which people have been tallying up all the content you get with that because
Mhm.
these Riot games are free to play. So it's like, well, whatever. But on Game Pass, when they come there, they're going to include like all the characters unlocked and all this stuff. It's like seven hundred
Right.
dollars worth of stuff,
Right.
basically. So, um, yeah, I think it's going to be a big deal. I think there's a couple things that are kind of like, man, Microsoft, they paid some for this because
Mhm.
Silk Song, holy hell,
Yeah.
when they showed that, I was pretty stunned because everyone associates Hollow Knight with the Nintendo Switch, and everybody always figured the next time we see Silk Song finally, it's gonna
Mhm.
be at the Nintendo event, Nintendo
Sure.
Direct. So for Xbox to get it on their event was very,
Very
very
big.
shocking to me. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and I'd say the other one, I guess, it's not so much that it happened but because I figured it would eventually and the rumors were there. It's just that it actually now happened and it's there. Was the Sona is finally coming to
Mhm.
Xbox and
Sure.
Hideo Kojima long rumored game they're working together on, I think. So
Yeah, I mean, that was, I think, surprising, probably that if I was ranking those 3, that would be number 3 for me.
sure. Mhm.
Like, cool and surprising, but, like, just after, like, Silk Song and like, again, I just left field for me for Riot Games.
Sure.
Those just kind of early on surprises, I was like, "Cool."
Yep. So anything else stand out for you? Something you're excited for, or things that really
Yeah,
were a big miss? Either one.
yeah, so, my f go I'm gonna say probably my favorite one, just, like, scanning some of my notes, my favorite was Diablo 4 because I used to play
Okay.
Diablo.
Okay.
Um, I
Nice.
love the color palette here. I loved like the gameplay that I saw. It's an open world game now, which is big news for Diablo. And then the fact that you can cross play
Mhm.
between um, systems is just like amazing to me. So I'm really excited about that. I think that
We'll
was
get a group
big,
together.
big
Ashley
news.
wants to play.
I would
Ashley
love
wants to
to.
play that
I would
one.
love to. I really love Diablo. So that
Cool.
that to me was like amazing mix of like nostalgia and new, and
Mhm.
I'm excited about it. So
Yep. Yeah, there's been like controversy right now going on and uh Diablo some, because Diablo, I think it's called Immortal, came out recently, and
Mhm,
it's a mobile game,
mhm.
and a lot of people are really like bothered by the idea that there's a like a Diablo mobile game with like
Yep,
in-game purchases and all that stuff, but it's doing really well.
yeah,
So I just always think it's interesting the disconnect. I was talking to Ashley about that earlier, like the disconnect between the sort of core gamers, gaming journalists, and then like reality,
mhm.
what like actually sells and people actually are interested in actually play and all that stuff. So yeah, because it's been just getting tons of hate, bad review scores, and all this
Mhm.
stuff, but people are playing the hell out of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see people who play Diablo not liking it and people who don't play Diablo
Mhm.
love
But
it.
that's why Diablo 4 is coming, right? I mean, you get
Exactly, that's
it's
what we're waiting for.
we got best of both worlds, right? Because guarantee you a lot of people playing this game were never gonna play Diablo 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
They weren't gonna play this one. So
I mean, there might be some who make the transition, but
yeah.
I don't think
Mhm.
this is, one of those things that's meant for.
Um, so they started the showcase off interestingly. They made a few exceptions, but right away, Sarah Bond came out and said, like, hey, what we're gonna show you is what is available within the next 12 months.
Yeah, loved that.
So kind of uncommon for an E3 type showcase. Did you like this setup and
Loved it.
this? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said before, this is a tight showcase, coming in, I think, under an hour? Or no, it was
Yeah,
an
I'm
hour
not
and a half,
sure.
excuse me. It was in an
That
hour and a
makes that
half.
sounds right.
Yeah, sorry. Um, so it was compact, it felt manageable on the rewatch, like, I could get through it. It was nice to feel, like, this immediacy of, "Hey, we're not gonna waste your time with, like, stuff that's really far out right now. That's maybe for another showcase." We're not gonna
Mhm.
like do a mix of like what you can play now and what you can play later, like keep you guessing. We're just gonna be like, here's what's coming.
Sure.
And it's a lot. Like this is strong. Do you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
there's a lot of content coming. Like if another studio or n- studio, another like PlayStation had come out and been like, hey, we're gonna show you what's coming up in the next 12 months and had like 30 minutes of content, like, kinda not great, but,
Sure.
I mean, for so much coming out in the next 12 months and such good stuff, this is awesome.
Cool. I've listened to now, like this happened a little while ago. I've listened to a lot of different people talk about it, see what they think. Um, so I've definitely had time to like hear some other viewpoints. They A lot of people are, because when you look at ultimately this year, from people were saying last year 2022 is going to be like the biggest year in gaming ever,
Mhm.
it's going to be so much, and then things got pushed back and things got delayed and all this stuff, and so then people are looking at like, well, Xbox doesn't have anything this year.
Mhm.
Halo's kind of in shambles. Redfall and Starfield got pushed.
Mhm.
People were expecting Forza to come out this year, Forza Motorsport. That's pushed to next year.
Mhm.
So they're like, yeah, they've got nothing. And Sony is like, well, they're kind of quiet on the God of War front, but supposedly that's coming yet.
Mhm.
So, but I think your take, honestly, is again the more realistic one. Like what they did with this showcase is show you what you can play with Game Pass in the
Mhm.
next 12 months.
Mhm.
And people don't care if that thing is available someplace else. They don't care if that thing is not made directly from Xbox or something like
Yep.
that. They just are like, I have this service and these are the things I'll be able to play.
Yep.
And it is a lot, you know, there are a lot
Well,
of things coming.
and I think it was smart to frame it as this is what's coming in the next 12 months. 12 months sounds so much more immediate than 2023 does.
Sure.
You didn't
Yeah.
start off your show by saying like, we're going to take a look at 2022 and 2023.
Hmm.
That makes everything seem farther away and like not as like this is coming. It does feel like, oh, it's delayed to 2023. So
Hmm.
starting it off that way and being very careful with their wording choice to say like, listen, next 12 months, that sounds close. That sounds like now.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
I think it was a really smart setup all the way through. Like they
Sure.
made smart choices.
Yeah, only other like critique I saw, well, yeah, I saw a lot of critiques, but one I thought was fair
Sure.
is they could have tweeted or announced beforehand this idea that what you're going to see is the next 12 months.
Yeah, sure.
Because a lot of people, again, that were, the people that, they do this for a living or they have nothing else going on. So they're just waiting on bated breath for the showcase is like, well, we're going to see Avowed then, right? We're going to see,
Sure.
Fable. We're going to see all these things. It's like, well, I don't know. And I think this is good too because
Yeah.
otherwise, you get in this pattern like we had with Sony for a while, whereas like, okay, we don't need to see Deathloop again.
Mhm.
We don't need a new trailer for Last of Us. Everyone that was gonna buy Last of Us
It's
was
gonna buy
gonna buy
Last of
this new
Us.
one. We don't need to see it. So it's
Mhm.
like if you stick to the 12-month kind of thing, you don't run into the risk of showing a game and getting people hyped for a game that's not coming for 4 years. So then you gotta
So you're not
like
seeing trailer after trailer
yeah,
after
sprinkle
trailer.
these little breadcrumbs the whole way, and by the
Mhm.
time it gets there, like, the hype is just done, like, you
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah, I mean, I will give that critique like in my opinion half validation. Sure, they could have done that. Also, they said it right away. You could at least sign off and spare yourself the hour and a half if that wasn't your bag.
yeah, yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, sure you sat down for like what, 5-10 minutes maybe. Um and I'm sure their marketing team probably thought like it's worth a risk to see if we do hook anybody, even if it's not, exactly what they're looking for. They might just like, ooh, 12 months, like what can I play?
Mhm. Right.
So I mean, sure, they could have like let y'all know, but at the same time, I think that's an innocuous enough offense that like
Mhm.
I'm giving them a pass again.
Yep. So, the big games that people were looking for in this that
Hmm.
were there was Redfall and
Yeah.
Starfield. So, what'd you think of those 2? How did they show?
Sure. Redfall was fun. It was a great way to open with a big game, and I think they had a really great like teaser gameplay mix. It was
Okay.
fun. It was a fun way to open, high energy.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I liked it. This is
Like the
definitely
kinda
something I would play.
you like the kinda upside down world?
Yeah,
Kinda talking Stranger Things, kinda that sort of thing they had going in there?
yeah, I dug it. And I mean, it's one of those things that I think is always like a fun premise of like, you know, we're a town overrun by monsters and we're kind of like separated from the rest of the people. They set it up well, but then it was fun to like, have them go the extra mile of like, yeah, these vampires blocked off the sun and,
Right.
pushed the sea back. That was cool. There were
Mhm.
some fun world building elements that I was like really enjoying watching in this. So yeah,
Cool.
Redfall I think was strong open. The one thing I was confused about it was the gameplay. Um,
Okay.
I wasn't quite sure if you were like choosing your player or
Yeah.
like switching between players at times, or you could
You'll
do like a
you'll you'll pick a player to begin with that will have their specific abilities, and then if you're playing with other people, they can pick the other characters with
oh, so you
abilities,
can okay.
and then like if but you don't switch while you're playing. Like
Okay,
the
some
other
of that was
people
a
that are
little
with you
confusing.
are other people playing with you, and you can
Got it.
probably have computer players too, but no one wants that.
Right. Right. Yeah, okay. I was a little confused at some point. It sort of looked like I wasn't sure if like they were just trying to show the different gameplay so you could see which characters you could be, or if you could, I mean, obviously there's games out where you can in certain
Right.
cases switch between players, so I just was a little
Yeah.
confused, but
Yeah, definitely not like
minor
it's not like the
critique.
RPGs where you would like have a team and then you
Mhm.
control the different
Right.
members in your team. This is designed more like I know everybody makes a comparison, but more like a Left for Dead or a Back for
Sure.
Blood kind of
Sure.
thing, but this one also has a story you can focus on, you can play through. So,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
Um yeah, I'm still like I I thought it would look better,
Mhm.
but it's kind of going for an art style, so
Mhm.
I think that will age well and if it plays well. So, how about Starfield? I mean, that's a lot of
Ooh,
people resting a lot on Starfield.
they gave you a hell of a lot of Starfield. Holy cow. That gameplay at the end was like, what was it, like 10 minutes?
It
15
was
minutes?
lengthy, yeah.
It was
Mhm.
lengthy, yeah. I mean, it was good. But I guess for me, I like Starfield, but it's not the thing I've been waiting for. So I was sort of like I'm good
Okay. Yeah.
after a while. But I'm sure for other people, the more you get, the
Mhm.
better.
I guess, you know, I'm hoping, Todd Howard, my man, like come through with this one. Um, I was expecting it to look more next gen. Like
Sure.
this is their first like really original IP that
Hmm.
Bethesda is dealing with. Like so it's their
Hmm.
own creation and
Sure.
they've been working on it for many years already and it got delayed a year and I expected it to look better. I think the environments and stuff look nice and the ship and everything. I don't know about the people. Um and it just there's so much when I saw it, it's like it just looks like a Fallout game in space, which
Sure.
I know a lot of people want, but at the same time, more. Like I was hoping
Yeah.
the gunplay would look better. Still looks
Sure.
very stilted Bethesda kind of gunplay.
Sure.
Um, the just the faces and stuff for people look a little off, and it's not done. And I'm, I'll wait. Which, but it's like a lot of the things they're doing here looked like what we got in the Outer Worlds, which is very
Mm.
much a Fallout
Yeah.
in space already, but made with way less money and way less time. I don't know. I mean, obviously, this is a lot where we have 1,000 planets and you can build your ship and super customize it and you have space battles and,
Hmm.
a lot. And so if they make a Skyrim in space and they fulfill that, people will love it. I just expected more polish, more high, something higher
Yeah.
fidelity.
That's
So,
fair.
but we'll see. I also think like someone from what's his name? He's from um Last Stand Media's PlayStation podcast. Can't think of his name right now. He had a really good point. He's like, we can't make one full city yet in a game. Like we can't make New York in a video game. Like we would look at Cyberpunk or you look at Spider-Man. Yeah, you swing around and it's impressive and it's big and everything, but you still can't go in most places. It's
Sure.
still not the full thing. So, do we need 1,000 planets that are mostly empty? Like, can't we have? Because it would be different if we knew you could have these fully realized outposts and cities and stuff, and they felt
Sure.
really real. Um, then expand. But can we work on that first?
Mhm.
I feel like no one's really nailed the believability of that yet. I'd say the closest we've got is still probably like cyberpunk.
Sure.
So I don't, I think I think it'll still be fun and it'll be cool, and you can go all these different planets, look cool, and set up your own base and all that stuff. But just I thought that was a good point. It's like we don't need 1,000 planets. We could have like 10 really fleshed out ones.
Sure.
You know, so
Yeah, it's kind of a weird dynamic of, 1,000 planets kind of pushes your creativity, but 10 fully fleshed out planets would push your skill, your
mm.
kind of like technical building engineering skill.
Oh, from a game development standpoint.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
mhm.
having those empty planets, it's like, okay, how do we at least make this different, and how do we make like a different planet, but there's not a lot of like technicality to it.
Mhm. Well, I think a
So
bunch of
it's an
these
interesting
planets
dynamic.
are going to be, and maybe I'm wrong in this, but I think a bunch of them are going to be um, procedurally generated,
Sure.
kind of like No Man's Sky. So they're not going to be designed in a bespoke manner. A bunch of them that will be just like, but maybe I'm wrong on that, or maybe it'll be like a mix of, I'm sure, or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
So, what would I mean, if there's anything else that stands out for sure, but I mean, like again, the Persona games coming, that's crazy.
Yeah, those looked
Um,
so fun and cool. I was
yeah, I
really
mean,
excited about that.
they're just a series of great games that have been stuck on various systems, most of which aren't current ones.
Yeah.
And so people are just like, give people the opportunity to buy these games. Like, let them buy the games. They will throw money at you. Just put them places. So, um, yeah, some of this event definitely upset some people because they first saw the Persona things coming, and they're pretty mad because they're obviously this Xbox thing, and they're like, okay, these are coming to the PlayStation service too, right?
Mhm.
Right? Which they
Poke
are.
poke.
So,
Yeah.
but for a while, people were pretty worried, and then people were, I don't know, trying to sign a petition or do something to try to get the Hideo Kojima game canceled because they're like, how dare you not? How dare you leave PlayStation to make a game with Xbox? So,
People get over it.
uh, yeah. Um. So overall, do you have a score at all for this?
Ooh, what are we ranking? Are we using our patented finger
I
ranking
usually,
system?
I mean, well, I didn't file for the patent as of yet. So,
How dare you?
yeah, I usually like to look at it like grades, A through F kind of
Sure.
thing.
I will give this somewhere in the A minus B plus range. A minus,
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I liked it. It was fun. Like I said, it moved quickly, not a lot of like kind of filler material to drag me down, like enough kind of like a few interjections with announcements and descriptions, but not after everything, which just like, gets to be
Hmm.
way too much.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of fun games that I was excited about. I thought like stuff like The Last Case of Benedict Fox looks
Mm,
awesome. I have
yeah.
no idea if I'm gonna play it, but like super tempting. Um, what? Oh, Pentiment by
Hmm.
Obsidian. I obviously know why I want to play that game, but had no idea like a game like that existed. So
Yeah.
super
Hmm.
excited about that. Persona looked really fun. Scorn looked creepy and just, you know,
Hmm.
like I don't know, horror-esque excellence. Um
It's a very
yeah, there were
delayed game,
yeah.
so finally
Yeah.
coming.
There were only like two Oh, Ravenlock, Lock, which is like a wonky
Yeah.
Lego Alice in Wonderland. I was sort of just like, this feels weirdly familiar and awesome.
Yeah, I didn't really remember that one. I don't remember that
Yeah,
for whatever reason.
it's like exactly like I said, it's a wacky Lego Alice in Wonderland. So I'm excited about that kind of stuff. Um, Naraka looked cool, but I suck battle arena games. I suck at those like last player standing. I'm
Sometimes they're still fun
terrible.
though. Like they can,
Exactly.
you
Like
know.
this looks fun. Like I might be tempted into it because at least everything
Mhm,
looks cool here. But
mhm.
I suck at those. I panic. I'm usually like one of the couple last left, and then suddenly I panic and just throw it all out the window. So,
Yep.
and then on the way other end of the spectrum, Lightyear Frontier looked adorable.
Okay.
Which was basically like this, person like landing on a planet with his little like fighter gun suit and then using it to farm and like cultivate the land. And
Mhm.
then there's like a side mystery.
Yeah.
Adorable. So cute.
Nice.
Um and then High on Life, Rick and Morty creators,
Yeah.
you notice that one. That's obviously a game for me because you carry around a knife and the knife yells at you, I need more stabby stabby. So being the
Yeah, that was
knife
pretty good.
focused player that I am, I obviously
Yeah.
need this game.
I think that's good. Apparently, this game was supposed to be in development for Google Stadia, and
Oh,
then,
well,
how that went. Yeah.
yeah, we all know how that went.
Mhm. So, yeah, that looks funny. Um, yeah, I think I'd give it a B.
Okay.
Um, I think they should have chopped out some stuff in the middle. I think they should have chopped out the game update section. Like, here's what's coming
Oh,
to Elder Scrolls Online. Here's what's coming to Grounded. Here's what's coming
yeah, Grounded
to Fallout
was a low point for me too.
76. Like, here's what's coming to Sea of Thieves. And not that those are bad. They have some of them have pretty big player bases. Just those player bases, they can get an update already. You can drop that video separate. Like it's not really a new game coming. I
Or it
don't
could have been a
think we need to
screen.
take the time to, yeah.
It could have been a screen of like, here's our game updates, go online to find out more about these
Hmm.
screen.
Yep. Yep. So, and then the score would have been bumped up a little higher. I think if I would have, there would have been either one more surprise, like, hey, actually, Avowed is coming this year, or
Hmm.
Hellblade is coming this year, or the Starfield stuff really just blew my mind, something
Sure.
like that. So, okay, so that's the Xbox event. It's been the gaming events have kept on rolling in. There's a couple of little
Hmm.
ones like we can talk about here yet. There was a weird little separate Dragon's Dogma event, like specifically they're making another one of those. And then the Capcom did event to talk about like Monster Hunter and then Resident Evil.
Hmm.
So we got more details on Resident Evil 4, a little bit, like another little kind of video
That was
on
such
that.
a oh my god, that was such a
Such a tease.
tease. Such a
It's like,
tease.
"Oh, they're gonna
They
show all this stuff," and then they cut it
they
so
built it
quick.
up so hard and then cut it.
Mhm.
Oh god, I
They
was
just, like,
so
show you the
mad.
opening thing, it's like the nostalgia immediately of, like, walking down the path, but then it's
Yes.
just, like, over.
Oh, they were just like, "Oh, we've really, like, upped everything, and we're so excited to, like, put you in the middle of the fear of being, like, in this hive mind of the Ganados," and then they go right up to the moment of showing you black. Ah,
Mhm,
rude,
mhm.
rude,
Well, and
rude.
they talk about, like, completely redoing the enemies and stuff. I don't know what that means exactly, and I'm I talked to Dustin a little bit about it. He thinks maybe the game is gonna be a lot shorter than the original. Like, he's
Ooh, I
thinking
would
it's
be
gonna
highly
be,
disappointed by that.
like, reworked a little more
Mm.
than, like, a just straight remake kind of thing.
I don't mind if it's a little bit shorter, but I would mind if it was significantly shorter. I
Okay.
love all levels of that gameplay. I mean, I could see cutting some things, but yeah, I would be massively disappointed if this was like a huge
Yeah.
rework. 'Cause I
I'm
think
really
some
interested. I
some of the
wanted to
appeal of it is going to the different areas.
Mhm.
Like Village
Yeah.
is very like when I think of, kind of like staying in the same vein, Village is very in the same
Yes.
area.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
you
but
you
yeah,
don't
but you
stray
you kinda
far.
yeah,
But
right.
like
But
but like for, you've got like outdoor lake, you're going across like castles, outdoor grounds, you know,
well, they're
um
themed pretty differently in Village. I always thought, like, Village felt more akin to a Resident Evil 4 than
it
a lot of
it
other Resident Evil we've gotten re
it does. I'm probably just drawing on it because it's the most recent thing I've played, but like
Mhm.
there are like three main kind of areas that are very different from one another, but like you're in the same area. Whereas I feel like
Yeah,
Resi Evil 4 you travel more.
yeah. Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I just wanna see more. I wanna see what,
Mhm.
the Dustin is saying, like, for him, the definitive version is the VR version. He says that's so amazing.
Ooh,
So,
ballsy. I've
yeah,
not played that.
yeah. Um, so yeah, the little RE4 tease and then a big update for Resident Evil Village.
Yes,
So,
wow.
that's the third person mode. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either.
Feel like that changes a lot, like, how
Mhm,
some of the things you see and go through, how is that gonna impact you in third
mhm,
person? Like, when you walk through a door and Lady Dimitrescu is just, like, right fricking there,
mhm.
or you, like, appendages, things happen to
Oh my god,
appendages,
yes.
or, like, you're gonna be
Or
eaten, like,
the
it's just a
daughters with
very
the
different.
whirlwinds and the
Yeah.
crazy bug things and stuff. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I definitely prefer third person generally for this, but I did like the game in first person, and so I don't
yeah.
know.
It'll be strange. And then we got confirmation that you can play from Lady Dimitrescu's point of view
In like the mercenaries or
in the
something, right?
mercenaries. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. And
which
then there was
is
another little
weird too.
side thing,
Well,
like a
it's a
little
story
roses.
DLC. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
that's what I'm most excited for because
Yep.
that's what I'll act like. Dustin said he's gonna go back and replay the game right away and for in third person mode. I don't think I'll do that, but I do wanna play Rose's
Mhm.
DLC for sure. S
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go back right away, but I might try it at some point, just like see how it is, I guess. But yeah, it'll
I have
be
no
interesting.
Rose's
I don't know if
story.
I don't know if I can transfer that experience that well.
We got no Rose's story. Gotta know
Oh
what
yeah, no,
happens with her.
I'm not gonna not play that. I just mean like I might
Oh,
try
yeah,
third
redo it.
person. I just
Okay. Yep.
yeah, I have to ease into that one. So it is hard to like switch experiences once you've played it through.
Yep. Yep. And just the last little thing, they had a Final Fantasy like 20th
Mhm.
year. I don't know if it was 20th year or 25th anniversary for Final Fantasy 7.
Mhm.
Um, and they finally announced the part two of the Final Fantasy 7 remake. Final Fantasy Rebirth, I think. Rebirth, yeah. And so there's that, and then a new another like portable game that they're updating. I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy, so I don't know a lot about that. But um, Final Fantasy VII remake, I did play a little bit of, and it's definitely a very impressive looking game, pretty fun.
Mhm.
So maybe I'll knock that one out before this next one comes along.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, lots of news to start off the summer of gaming.
yeah, I mean, how do you like overall? I mean, is there a lot more coming? Is Keeley doing the throughout the entire summer kind of thing like before? Or I mean, I haven't kept up on it, but
Yeah. So, see, I mean, I know there's something coming up tomorrow actually.
oh,
Let me see. I was just on the Summer Game Fest site because I was kind of trolling around to see what was going on. There
there's
is
been
a
lots of
multi versus pro player showcase tomorrow. The second pro player showcase from Multiverses.
okay, don't care.
No, I do not either.
um,
But yeah, so that's what's coming up, and then they don't have anything else upcoming right now, but obviously that doesn't really mean a whole lot.
sure. Yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting year. Like I thought, I watched pieces of other things. I haven't had as much time for some of it. So like they had the Digital Devolver showcase, which was shorter and
Mm-hmm.
sweeter than normal, but funny, like wacky and zany like normal.
Yeah.
And the PC showcase, I thought a lot of those were pretty boring that I what I saw. But so yeah, but either way, we're gonna have lots of cool stuff coming.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. What's the next game you're gonna play, Andrea? What
What's
are
the
you gonna
next
play?
game I'm gonna play?
Yeah, like what's on the list? What's on your radar for like I gotta
Well,
download or pick up that one.
I gotta, still knifing my way through
No,
Borderlands.
no,
I
no.
had to say it though. I had to say it.
You're cut
Um,
off. But
no, I'm
no.
in Hades right now.
Oh, okay. Nice. Cool. How's that going?
Well-ish. It's
Okay.
been very sporadic gameplay, so I
Yeah.
mean, I really enjoy it. I'm really liking it. I just like
Hmm.
don't get on it as much as I want to.
Hmm. Yeah, it'll
Um,
take a time when you get the chance to like do a few runs in a row or something to
exactly.
kind of get, used to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm currently playing.
Nice. All right. Well, that's our show, our very gaming focused show for
Hmm.
the week. It's good to be back. It's good to have all this gaming news to talk about. Um, Popcast on the Rocks, episode 109 in the can. But you should like and share and follow and subscribe and all those things. That would be very appreciated on Twitch and YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Um, take your favorite podcast directory, go there, leave a review. That'd be great as well. Helps us be discovered by others. Um, and then Killing the Flower. They are responsible for our theme song, so take a look at them on Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. So
Mm.
that'll do it from us. We should be back again next week with another show, probably. Try to be consistent with it and also keep notifications on for when I go live with Ohio Anime segment. And yeah, Andrea, thanks again for joining me.
Of course, as always. Cheers, everybody.